Yo, what's good, what's poppin', what it is, what it could be, what it should be, what it can't be. Today, I thought, well, first of all, welcome back to the Carolina Cave channel. Thank you all for giving me 57 subscribers. We're gonna make a goal for now, by the end of this month, to get to 60 subscribers. I hope we can do it. And this video is going to be about me ranking all the NFL stadiums. I thought we'd do something a little bit more fun because I haven't been uploading a lot. I've been uploading a lot of YouTube shorts. I really appreciate you guys for the support. So, I'm going to make a good video by myself on this, a real video. And let's get into the video. Okay, so first of all, for all of y'all that don't know, there's only 30 NFL stadiums. Yes, not 32. I get there's 32 teams. That's because the Jets and the Giants both own a stadium together, and the LA Rams and the LA Chargers own one together. So, without further ado, starting it off, we have number 30, FedEx Field. This stadium is an absolute shithole bar. I have about 7 to 10 Commander friends, and not a single one of them said it was average or good. It is a shithole bar, literally. The stadium is so bad. Without further ado, it's had pipes breaking and flooding. 7 or 8 players have gotten injured on the field, including Joe Burrow, because I can feel the cement, because it's turf. They remove, seating, I've heard, every single year, more and more seats. I don't know why. Jalen Hurts has nearly gotten crushed, because of, a stands pole nearly fell on him. Well, the field, it looks like real grass when it's turf. It's the worst stadium in the NFL, hands down. So that brings us to number 29, a much better stadium. That is TIAA Bank Stadium. That stadium is alright, because I'm pretty sure they use actual grass. Nobody complains about it. It's just, it looks a little outdated, and it's not that great, I've heard, and there's a lot of wind in it, and it's just pretty basic. Alright, next up, we have a stadium that looks like a college stadium, and that is Nissan Stadium for number 29. For number 28, it's pretty boring, it looks like a college stadium. There's not much going on. It's very basic for an NFL stadium. Very basic and generic. So that brings us to number 27, and that is Paul Brown Stadium. Another stadium that is not great. It's boring. The seats are fine, and it's boring. I think it's called, I don't know. It's called something different. It's not called Paul Brown anymore, but that's what it used to be. The TVs aren't great. It's just not that great. It's not that great. It doesn't offer anything super. So, without that, that brings us to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, which is Highmark Stadium for number 26. I've heard they're getting a new stadium in 2026. It's not, I know it's a coincidence. I didn't think of that. I just thought of that now. I know it's a coincidence. 2026. 26. I've heard it's not great. I've heard the seating isn't great. It's very old for its age, and it's not great, because it's very old for its age. Alright, coming in at number 25, another very old stadium that is not so good anymore. Oh, and it's, for this one, the TVs are crooked, and I am talking about the Chicago Bears Stadium, Soldier Field. This is the oldest NFL stadium. I looked it up. It's been around since, 1920. It is freaking old. Old school. It is not great. It rains a lot there. I've seen the Niners play there. Bet you that was fun. That's sarcasm. But it's old. The seating's not great. The TVs are a little crooked, I've seen. And yeah, it's too old. I've heard they're getting a new stadium soon. It's just too old. So that brings us to number 24, and that is MetLife Stadium. MetLife Stadium. It's so boring. The TVs are fine. The logo's fine. It's owned to the Jets and the Giants. It's just a circle. Like, it's like this. It's just a circle. It's a full circle. It's boring. It's boring. It's just like a little oval circle. It's boring. It's boring. It's like football shaped almost. It's boring. It's just a circle. Alright, next that brings us to number 23, and that is Heinz Stadium. Heinz Stadium. It's very boring. It's yellow. It's boring. Moving on. We have Lincoln Financial Field, home to the Eagles. And that stadium is not bad. It is not bad. The seats aren't bad. The fans are all right. I've heard that, like, they're sponsored by Pepsi. Seems pretty all right. It's not like a dome or anything with a roof, but it seems all right. I've looked. And that brings us to the Ravens Stadium. M&T Bank Stadium. This stadium, it literally looks like, it looks like a roofless Lucas Oil, and we'll get into that later. It looks like the Colts Stadium without a roof. It's not great. It's not great. Seatings look all right. It's not great, though. All right, next up, we have got Raymond James Stadium. This stadium, it's got a nice, like hexagonal form kind of thing around, like, the edges. It's not much seating. The pirate ships are all right, but, like, it's just not that great. It's not that great. It doesn't offer that much. Kind of like it's like a Titans Stadium, but better. So next up, that brings us to First Energy Stadium. First Energy Stadium. That is home to the Cleveland Browns. The TVs look alright. The seats do not look bad. It looks kind of high up. Looks pretty alright. Looks alright. So next up, we have Lambeau Field, a classic. It's like way in the ground. It's very deep. It's very big. It's a very big stadium. It looks pretty decent. We're starting to get into, like, good stadiums. Our next up, we have Gillette. This stadium, I know they've done some work on the lighthouse. I don't know why. It just has that nice overall feel. I don't like the Patriots. I know they beat us in the Super Bowl. It just has that feel. It looks nice, okay? So next up, we have Lumen Field, the Seahawks Stadium. This stadium is amazing. We are now in the good stadiums. It is amazing. It's all even. Well, the problem with it is that Jumbotron TV. It has, like, this tower frame that's just, like, straight up with, like, TVs. It's just, like, one piece. It's terrible. I'll see if I can pull up a picture of it in this video. It is awful. Awful. It's boring. So next up, we are in the top 15. Yes, sir. Should I say this is top 1? Number 1. Just kidding. I'd probably get bitten my head off, eaten alive and bitten my head off for it. We have Bank of America Stadium. Should be number 1. Home to the Carolina Panthers, the best NFL team in history. No, we are not. No, we are not. We just cut Sam Darnold, which is pretty alright, just today. This stadium, this is the only stadium I've been to, and that I've watched an NFL game. I've watched it up in the higher deck, which we thought would be bad seats. It is absolutely amazing. This stadium on the top has like a wave row. It's so even. It's enclosed as like almost like a square. It is amazing. This stadium. I know we don't have a roof. We probably don't really need one. This stadium is hands down amazing. The TVs are big. They are quite long, almost like the Jaguars TIAA Bank Stadium. The TVs are long like that because they've renovated. I've been in this stadium. It's all even. There's really not it's kind of a little bit boring, but like it's not that boring. But it's just we're not sponsored by like Pepsi or anything. We're sponsored by Coke, but like the TVs are very long and big, and it's just good because there's not like a single bad seat in the stadium. I had a seat that I'll pull up the picture right there that it's considered bad seats. It was not bad at all. It was amazing stadium. If your team's playing there this season, you really should go there and check it out. It's absolutely amazing. Next up, we have... I don't want this to be this way, but it is, because they beat us in the Super Bowl. It's very even. It looks pretty decent. We have number 14 coming in, number 14. We have Mile High Stadium. This stadium, I don't want it to be better than ours, but it is. It looks like ours, but a little better, of like a little wave, more of a wave shaped on the roof. It looks clean. It looks decent. It looks pretty good. One day, if I ever live kind of close to Denver, probably not, might want to go watch a game there. It looks pretty fine. Next up, we have Levi Stadium. This stadium played the Broncos in there for the Super Bowl. Terrible Super Bowl. That's not what we're talking about. It's not what we're talking about in this video. The stadium looks good. I know the one half of it has like the burning sun on the fans, but the other half on the roof, I've seen it as growing grass. That is amazing. And then it's got like the nice like venue, fancy seats and the booths and enclosed. It almost looks like a hotel on a crappy stadium. It looks like a crappy stadium with a hotel right there on top of it, on the side. Next up, we have the second to last, one of the best NFL stadiums. We have Arrowhead Stadium, home to the Kansas City Chiefs. This stadium, this looks like the Bank of America Stadium, but higher and better. They just won the Super Bowl. They absolutely deserve a roof. It looks like ours. It looks bigger. It looks higher. It's got like that kind of wavy effect on the top of it. It looks hands down amazing to go watch a game there. I know the fans are very loud. It's one of the best home advantages in that stadium. It looks phenomenal. It doesn't look like a single bad seat in the stadium. I'd love to go watch a game there one day. And so next up, I know I'm going to get ripped off in the comments for this. I don't know if I really agree with this either. And number 11, we have Hard Rock Stadium, home to the Miami Dolphins. The stadium, it looks good. It's got like a nice little shady roof, not all the way closed. It looks good. It looks clean. It looks nice. Next up, we have number 10. We have Ford Field. It's good because it has a roof and looks really nice. It looks good. And the world record field goal has been kicked there. So that's how you know it's good. So next up, we have Lucas Oil Stadium. This stadium has been the Pro Bowl stadium forever and ever and ever. And it looks amazing there. It looks clean. The field the field's not great. The team's not great. We're going to steal your QB, Colts. We're going to steal it. Steal your QB in the draft. We have number 1 draft. Not here to talk about, though. I'm going to crush y'all. Just kidding. The stadium, it looks flat out amazing. I know the Panthers aren't playing in it this season. It looks flat out amazing, though. It looks good. It looks like brick-made, old school. Amazing. Next up, we have one of the best NFL stadiums at number 8. We have Caesars Superdome. Home to the New Orleans Saints. It used to be called Mercedes-Benz Superdome. I'd rather have that name, but it's called Caesars now. Because owned by Caesars, whatever kind of brand that is. I don't know. I'm sorry. This stadium, it looks flat out amazing. Although I've heard there's some issues with it. I've heard they changed, like, the turf a lot and stuff. And it looks like they're playing arena football in there. And I've heard that, like, I don't know. I can't find any good pictures of it. I've heard, like, at the very top seats of it, in the very top, here in the upper deck, there's like a lot of drunk people up there. So I've heard from my dad's friend. And I've heard that, like, there's drunk people up there and they sometimes fall down the stairs. So that's safety hazard. But other than that, looks like they're playing arena football in that stadium. And it looks amazing. Looks amazing. It's very old, too. It's like 1975. Go fact check me. I'm pretty sure that's right. Looks amazing for its age. Next up, we have U.S. Bank Stadium! That is home to Greg Joseph and the Minnesota Vikings of Justin Jefferson. Stadium, flat out amazing receiver. We're not taking out J.J. Jettas, though. The stadium looks amazing. It looks like a battleship from the outside. And it looks amazing in the inside. The TVs look good. The NFL's biggest, like, NFL comeback in history. They were losing one time in that stadium, like 32-0, and they came back and won. Looks amazing. The team deserves it. I know they've lost like 4 Super Bowls and won 0. Just kidding. I know I'm not being nice. I know we haven't won a Super Bowl either. But the stadium, it looks flat out amazing. The team deserves it. It looks great. Looks like a little big boat battleship from the outside. And the inside, it looks amazing. Looks fabulous. So next up, that brings us to number 5, the top 5. We have NRG Energy Stadium. Man, I feel like I'm in freaking science class or some shit. Home to the Houston Texans. This stadium looks amazing. The field looks amazing. Doesn't look like there's a bad seat, but the TVs I've seen in there are very long and they are very high up. Like, they're extremely high up. Like, you have to look all the way up there, like, to see the TV if you're not watching the game down there. It looks like you get, like, a freaking neck headache or something, a neck ache. Next up, number 4, we have AT&T Stadium. Home to the Dallas Cowboys. The stadium, it looks phenomenal. This field, it looks classic. It looks... This stadium, the field does not look good either. This stadium is very big. It's like an AT&T, like the ball shaped. There's very high seats, I've heard. It's a very big stadium. And that Jumbotron in the middle. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Boy, it hits different, dude. Like, it hits different. That Jumbotron high up. The TVs are so nice in there, it looks like. So nice. Without further ado, that brings us to number 3. The home of the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Just kidding. It's not home of Kansas City Chiefs. It's home of the Arizona Cardinals. It is State Farm Stadium. This stadium has extremely nice TVs and the field's not great, though. It's like turf. It's like FedEx Field. Not more of that garbage. Other than the field, it looks flat out amazing. Amazing. Doesn't look like there's a bad seat there. And about number 2. This is it. That brings us to SoFi Stadium. This stadium is number 2 and not number 1. Because again and again and again, because of the field, there's been so many complaints about the field that it is not that good. That the field is like, Cooper Kupp does not like it. And that ball club, not a stadium, that ball club, the Rams, have been absolutely torn apart. Not the Chargers, though. Like, but the stadium, besides the field and the Rams, is amazing. The Chargers are amazing. I know they don't have many fans. That circle, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That circle of the TVs. High technology. Looks amazing to have. Amazing stadium. Especially a night game. It looks amazing there too. And number 1. That brings us to now and today, Jimmy Garoppolo Stadium. The home to the Las Vegas Raiders Allegiant atmosphere. I mean, no. Cut. That brings us to number 1, the Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant Stadium. There it is. There it is. That stadium. The TVs look amazing. The field looks amazing. The seats look amazing. My dad's friend has been there to watch a game. He says it is amazing. The roof looks amazing. From the outside, looks like the Death Star. That stadium is hands down the best NFL stadium. The best, one of the best stadiums in the world. High class. Best NFL stadium. It's so good. There's not a single bad thing there. Except the team this year. But yeah. That is all of the NFL stadiums. I really hope you guys liked this kind of video. Make sure you go like and subscribe to the channel. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of a new video. And y'all have a good one, and peace.